Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Heavy Metal Music Theory. I hope you're all well. I hope you guys are enjoying this new series. Like I always say at the end of the videos, if anybody would like to suggest a song or a riff from a song, I would definitely be happy to consider it and put it on the list. Today we're looking at a song by Dream Theater, and it's one of their more ballady type songs. It's called The Spirit Carries On, and it's a very long progression, but it's got a very cool theme to it. We're rooted in the key of D major. The first chord is D major. The second chord is also D major, but we're making use of the slash chord idea. And if you're not sure what slash chords are, it's essentially where you have a chord and then you have another letter to the right of a slash sign that indicates what the bass note's going to be. So usually when you just have a chord symbol, like D, the bass player will play D to set the foundation for the chord. But a slash chord changes that bass note. And oftentimes what can happen is you can create some very interesting bass parts that can go chromatically down or chromatically up against the harmony of the chords. It's a really neat idea, and you can make things really interesting by using slash chords. Anyway, the chord is D slash F sharp, so that's a D chord with an F sharp in the bass. The F sharp is the third of the chord, it's the major third, and it presents a very nice flavor. I'm just going to give you a little sonic example here. Here's D major with a D in the bass. Here's D major with the F sharp. Alright? So it's a little bit different, but it's still within the parameters of what's legal. It is one of the notes of the chords. Just a slightly different shade of what the D chord can sound like. The next chord in the progression is a G major, which is the 4 of D major. And then we're back, doing a little plagal cadence, back to D. So we're going from the G chord 4 to the D chord 1. Now this is where stuff gets really interesting. The next few chords contain some slash chords that are going to create a little bit of a descending bass line, both either descending downward, and there's also a couple spots where it kind of goes back up. So let's do this as simply as possible. The next chord is D slash C sharp. I'm going to play that for you. Okay. The chord after that is B minor, which is the 6th chord of D major. Then we're going to do another B minor, but we're going to change the bass note to A. So the ear hears that, and it acknowledges the bass note stepping down the scale a little bit, just to give a little bit of movement without having to change the full tonality of the chord. After that, we're going to an E major chord, which in the key of D, technically there is no E major chord, so we're borrowing from most likely the key of A. And this might be one of those situations where we're setting up a 5 of 5 of 5, like a secondary dominant idea. I'm just opening up a can of worms here. So the chord is E major with a G sharp in the bass. And then finally we ascend to an A major chord. So I just want to go through that one more time, and then I'll touch on the secondary dominant idea. The cool part here again is that the bass line goes down, okay, and then it goes to the B minor, and then the B minor with the altered bass of A, and then it goes to the E chord, the E major chord with the G sharp, so we're descending that bass another half step, and then we're finally ending on A, bringing that bass note up chromatically by a half step. I hope that made sense to everybody. I did hopefully put that on screen and posts. I just want to talk about the secondary dominant idea. So if we're in the key of D, the 5 chord is A. Alright? And if you guys want to learn about dominant chords and secondary dominant chords, I suggest you go to my Music Theory Mondays theory course. In my playlist section, there's a whole playlist with all the information there. They're all labeled specifically, so look for dominant chords and secondary dominant chords. So a dominant chord is the 5 chord of the key you're in, so as I stated, the A major is the 5 of the D. But if you were to look at the A major as the 1, then the E major becomes the 5. So what you end up with here is a 5 chord being the E major resolving to the A major as the 1, but at the same time the A is doubling its function as the 5 of D. So it's a string of 5 to 1s resolving in that original key. So just so you can hear it all together, here's your E resolving to A, resolving to D. Okay? Hope that made sense. If anybody has any questions or confusion, I can always make another video talking about this more. I really want you guys to enjoy this content and learn something. So please let me know what you think. And as always, have a great day.